And I'll just start sharing my screen. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Let's just Anna, can you just tell me if you see my screen and the presentation correctly?
Yes. Yeah, I see it
Okay,
fine. Yep.
fantastic. So maybe we just wait a couple of minutes, then I think since we are recording this, we can just start, and people that want to eventually keep up with the whole presentation can just see the recording. So let's wait 2 minutes more. Okay, I think we can slowly start. So first of all, welcome to everyone. My name is Cristina Laurenti, and I'm a board member of Agroecology Europe and the coordinator of Agroecology Europe Youth Network, and currently a PhD student at Cornell University. And I'm welcoming you to this webinar titled Connecting Youth Network for Agroecology, Food Sovereignty, and Social Justice in the Mediterranean Basin. I'm not going into detail presenting the association now because it's going to be part of the presentation of today's webinar. So I just want to quickly give you a framework on where and why is happening this specific webinar. So as a youth network, this year we realized that we were missing a lack of connection with agroecological initiatives in the Mediterranean. We are operating under Agroecology Europe Association, so our main activity are run in agroecology in Europe. But especially because of this, we felt that there was the need to create this more space of connection. So we started by simply sharing an Excel form widely and publicly to try to map the agroecological initiative in the Mediterranean. And right after my presentation, I will also share it because we are still in an ongoing process. And this webinar is just one way that we thought it would be interesting to start connecting and getting to know each other. The idea is to have a series of webinars in which association that we mapped through this participatory method can present themselves and then eventually start talking about and discussing about possible synergies and collaboration or maybe challenges that we face and start to create this more Mediterranean network for agroecology. So the agenda for today, well, we already had the welcoming and the introduction, and then we're going to start with the presentation of our youth network, so the Agroecology Europe Youth Network. Then we're going to hear about SOIS, Permaculture Association Lebanon. Then we will continue with Youth Rural, an association based in Turkey, and then Fassila Farm, based in Morocco. And then hopefully we will have time for having a collective discussion. And if you have any answer, please note that down because we're not going to have questions and answer after each presentation. So everything will happen at the end of the second slot. Yeah, so since I have the microphone on, I think it's better to just start presenting us, the Agroecology Europe Youth Network. and I'll try to do it as quick as possible. So, first of all, we are a group of young people. We are now counting more than 400 members from different countries, and the members are coming from very heterogeneous background. Most of us are coming from academia. We also have practitioners and farmers, and we do also have people coming from activism and NGOs. And the network includes anyone who are interested in agroecology generally. So we do not have a specific requirement to, especially to be part of the youth network. And let's say the two requirements are just that you are interested in agroecology and you feel young. We have 4 points as a vision. So we want to inspire and empower young people, stimulate bottom-up approaches. We want to create a network of young people from different background and skill set, connect this network with external partners, and facilitate the dissemination of knowledge and practices on agroecology to a larger scale. So everything we do start by creating spaces for collective discussion, co-creation, and sharing and planning together. And these spaces can be summarized, let's say, in these four way and methods. The first one is locally and is happening mainly through participatory workshops that I'm going to tell you a bit more about them right after. Then we also try to be part at national events by contributing to the organization of national conferences and gatherings. We also meet in an international setting, mainly by participating at the Agroecology Europe forums. The last one just happened this October, but also by hosting our own youth forum that has a specific focus on the component of youth in agroecology. And then also with online methods, such as the one that we are having right now, but also through our WhatsApp group, which is our main channel of communication right now. And so the outcomes of all this gathering, to simplify, I would say, fits into two directions. The first one, since Agroecology Europe has this as one of the most important activity is the advocacy. So the outcome of this gathering are an important step to define the political priorities and demands of the youth network, which then we bring into our own advocacy work. Again, I will talk about this a little bit more later. And another block instead is a process of initiating processes that answer to the need expressed within this network and within this moment of collective reflection. Yet again, I will give some example now that we are gonna just do. I'm gonna just do a quick overview of some projects that I think are explanatory of the kind of activity that we do. For instance, one of the most important projects that we did as Agroecology Europe Youth Network, and also the first one, was participating at the mapping of the agroecological initiative in Europe that was happening within an European project called Agroecology for Europe, and we were the mappers, so the one going to the farms, the research institute, and so on to get to know them, and then selecting and mapping in European countries. We also created our first manifesto for agroecology, Young European Manifesto of Agroecology. This happened in the occasion of our first EU forum, happened in 2022 in France, and it was the first moment in which we managed to gather together in an international setting, specifically for youth, and the outcome of this gathering was this common and collectively written European manifesto. I will not go into details. Everything can be found also in our website, and we will share the presentation. So I mentioned before the participatory workshop. The aim of this participatory workshop is to exchange and collect best practices and information from the field on current problems specifically related to generational renewal. And this participatory workshop can be happening as a one-day event. And we had in total 12 participatory workshops from 2022 again in different European countries. These are just an example. Yet again, in our website, there are the report of all of them. The last one happened this October in Malmo during our Agroecology Europe Forum. This instead is an example of where we bring this political demand that I was yet again mentioning before. Last year and this year, for instance, we have been invited to participate in youth policy exchange dialogues that are this moment to discuss generational renewal together with DG Agri and Commissioner Christoph Hansen at the European Commission. So we are slowly starting building our advocacy power as a youth network to try to shape or influence or at least bring the voices of young agroecologists at the European level. This is instead an example of a process that started from a collective discussion of the youth network and then is now led by Agroecology Europe Youth Network members, which is a process on decolonial and anti-imperialist agroecology in Agroecology Europe. And the next step, let's say, it's the creation of a position paper, but this is an ongoing and open process. So whoever wants to either be involved or know more, we are happy to talk about this more later. And to conclude, I asked to each speaker to bring some possible project or possible idea of collaborating together or having a sharing vision of a Mediterranean network. I do not have a specific proposal, but I wanted to spotlight the fact that today, this year happened the first Mediterranean Congress of Agroecology, and in 2027, so in 2 years, are gonna happen the second one. And maybe we could think this as a milestone and planning something together in order to then be there and either be part of the organizing committee and ensure that there are some spaces for us, or use this as a gathering event to meet together. So this was it for my side, and therefore now, as I said, we're not going to have question and answer right now. I'm just going to call our next association to talk a little bit more about them, and I'm very curious to know all of them because I also don't know them. It's just all happening as a first step, and so fantastic. We have Wahel Yamin from Soy Permaculture Association Lebanon.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for inviting us to this webinar. So basically, I'm Wael Yamin. I'm an agricultural engineer that I hold a master's degree in plant protection uh, from the Lebanese University. I'm also a permaculture design certified from Permaculture Association UK. And I'm also an active member of Soils Permaculture Association Lebanon. Is my connection good, or I'm because
Is now a bit
it
more
seems like
stable.
my connection is unstable. So yeah, okay. So basically, in soils, we work directly with farmers on agroecology and permaculture. So we use the design and the method to design a new food system. Um, also, we collaborate with farmers and communities on regenerative system design and composting and agriculture inputs. Um, so we integrate the soil biology, circular economic principle, and ecological design into farming system. I'm also a founder of Wiggles. Wiggles, it's an insect-based protein. I started my own company based on one of our models with the farmer, like how we are promoting agricultural inputs using vermicomposting or insect farming and everything like that. So we are transforming the food waste into more resilient system. As for Soils Permaculture Association, it was like founded in 2014. It was founded in a era where there was like a few people that they were talking about sustainable agriculture, and there wasn't enough emerging of organic agriculture in Lebanon. But at that moment, we were like working directly with the farmer on sustainable practices, and then we shifted into agroecology because we don't want to sustain, we want to regenerate our food system. Uh, So basically, for decades, we have founded and demonstrated pilot sites and community gardens. For example, this photo is from Nahi al-Ard. It's a community garden in Saida. It's a rural area where there are around 100 participants in this 6,000 square meter plot of land where they have parcels and they can grow their own food through the agroecological practices. So we also pair with we do other projects concerning value chains like the honey sector or the aromatics to incorporate all into an agroforestry ecosystem for the farmers. And yet we didn't stop at this. We also try to work on all the agriculture inputs like seeds and fertilizer and biopesticides, alongside with the marketing and like how people will reach out this food to the eaters. We used to call them consumers. Now it's like we are defining it into a new definition, which are the eaters and the eco-conscious eaters, the people that they believe in this political cause. So basically, we do also some how we say like the manuals and manuals and publications for the farmers so they can have a broader access to these information. We also make farmers visit agroecological farms so they can learn and they can be introduced more to practices of agroecology like seed sovereignty and trainings, and even also through يعني through how we say through workshops and through trainings for the farmers. So we do TOTs, training of trainers. So there will be more dissemination for agriculture practices. In the late stage in 2023, there was a new law that was like enforced on Lebanon. It's about the seed and the propagation law, and we thought that this might be an issue for the governance and for the politics in the agriculture. Before that, we didn't do any policy work throughout our work. We always work directly with the farmers, not with policies and not with the ministry. Now we have more intention to work with the ministries to promote more policies toward agroecology, because we are feeling some laws that are restricting some activities for the farmers and for the human rights in agroecology and in agriculture. So this is why we are trying to have collaborations. So we are partners with the Agroecology Coalition in Lebanon. It was recently founded in this year. So it's called ACL, which means like food. So ACL, ACL in Arabic. We also have partners in the Mediterranean. So this is how we know other partners also in this webinar, like Fasila Garden from Terre Humanisme. It's an NGO in France that it's working on agroecology, and they are trying to gather us all around to have the same like to learn from other people and other issues. We also, in collaboration with Urgency, and we are in the network of Urgency. It's also a international network in the Mediterranean and mostly in Europe. We host learning journeys and the Mediterranean agroecology dialogues in Lebanon and the Mediterranean. So when the topic or when the questions were asked how we can collaborate together as soils in Lebanon and in the Mediterranean region, we see that it's time for the agroecology movement to go into the policies and to work on these kind of policies with the government. So we need the help. We need to understand more on how we can succeed on doing this through different case studies. So we can learn from all of you what you have done with your country for the policy, so we can replicate these issues. So the world is changing rapidly, and if we are isolated, we will not know how to succeed or how to survive for longer period, especially with the climate change and with the monopolization of the agricultural inputs and the seeds and everything like that. So we are trying. We need a strong network and coalitions to influence the direction of that change. So the change is happening, but we need to lobby it to take it to a place where we all want, and it's fair for everybody. So and basically it's the same of the permaculture principles, people care, earth share, and the future care. We are still in the agroecology concept, we are still working on these type of ethics and principles. So we want to work on policies to protect farmers, restore ecosystem, and secure the future of the food in our region. When we work collectively, our impact reaches far and beyond any single project or organization. And I think this is the conclusion of why we are here. For If you want to go deeply into soils permaculture Lebanon, we don't have a demo site for us. We work directly with farmers, so we can connect you with other farms that we are helping. But you can visit our website to get all the news and the strategies that you are looking for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Really was inspiring. And it also made me reflect on how you started from the farmers and then you are now understanding the importance of going to advocacy, while our story is exactly the opposite. We started more at advocacy and more at this a bit detached from farmers. And now we are realizing that as Agroecology Europe, we are missing this really have a lot to learn from you and from what you're doing. So thanks you a lot for sharing. Okay, so now is the time for Youth to Rural, an association from Turkey.
Thank you, Christina. Hello all. My name is Ethan, and I am going to share my screen so you can follow what we are doing. Are you able to see my screen well?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. So I am the governance lead of Gençler Kırsala. It's in Turkish, and in English, its translation is Youth to Rural. And we are very happy to be here. We are here as a team, and my dear team member Toprak Egesalcı is our coordination and operations lead, and Zehra is our international collaborations lead. And we are very grateful for this event, and all the immense effort went into this. So we appreciate it a lot, the chance and the every work happened through here. And I would like to also celebrate your World Soil Day and International Volunteer Day. These are the most dear things to our hearts, and this was a nice coincidence or nice planning. And also thanks for Arja to remind me this, who also helped us to join this. I will mention later. So I will try to keep my side very brief, and then I will hand over to Toprak and Zehra. We will mainly talk about who we are and our brief history and what do we do in practice and what is our alumni experience journey look like and how we can collaborate. So mainly Gençler Kırsala started doing these camps in 2018, even before we didn't know what was agroecology. And we are only collaborating through volunteership, and we are predominantly becoming digital first community actually, although we do our camps on site. We are mostly collaborating digitally. And so far, we had more than 50 educational sessions, trainings, and we worked with more than 30 experts as trainers and instructors. They were farmers, academics, artists, a lot of people from different backgrounds and different methodologies. And we are mostly targeting young people between 18 to 26, but we are also kind of adding people who are older than 26 to our camps as well, but in a kind of a 20% just to have cross-pollination. So moving forward, I will keep our history short. This is our 7th program this year. We only had a gap year in pandemic. Other than that, we do this every summer or early fall. And now it's a program that we are mostly running with all volunteer based. So every year we are gathering new volunteers, and Zehra will be mentioning this a lot. So we have kind of a recurring cycle kind of thing, which is creating the next year and the next year creating the other next year. So we achieved that so far, which is what we are very proud of. So our basic mission can be deducted to, we are trying to give autonomy to young people and to provide them fertile ground for them to flourish and thrive. That's what we are trying to do. And I will hand over to Toprak to explain more about what do we do in practice.
Hello everyone, I am Toprak and I am the coordination and operations lead at Gençler Kırsala. By the way, I have notes there and I hope if you don't mind. We are bringing the gap between urban youth and rural life through a holistic curriculum based on 5 core pillars. Next slide, please. How we work. It all starts with soil and sustainable agriculture. We don't just farm, we study. We combine our technical knowledge with hands-on field work, teaching our volunteers how to regenerate the land. Building on that foundation, we teach ecological construction to create sustainable shelters and masters the full cycle of food production and preservation. Crucially, we integrate rural economics to foster resilient communities and connected all to ecological health, understanding that personal nutrition is rooted in environmental care. Through this program, we are cultivating a generation ready to return to the countryside. But to do this work, we needed a home. Next slide, please. Thank you. This brings me to our headquarters, the Çamtepe Ecological Life Center. Founded in 2010 by Victor Ananias and his friends, it was envisioned as a space where people can gather, learn, and rethink how we live with the nature. Çamtepe's half-moon architecture reflects our values. As Victor wrote in Yaşam Dönüşümdür, the building was designed with full respect for nature, using materials sourced entirely from the Çanakkale region. Çamtepe is more than a structure. It's a self-sufficient building, powered by rooftop solar panels and centering around a welcoming communal kitchen. It shows that sustainable living is both possible and practical. Today, this legacy continues. Since 2018, Çamtepe has been the home of Gençler Kırsala and vibrant hub for community programs like art exhibitions and the Life School program. It keeps inspiring harmony between people and nature. Next slide, please. Thank you. Ongoing volunteer integration and my story. And first things first, I want to start olive harvest participation. In October, our trainers invite volunteers to join the olive harvest in the Çanakkale region, creating a rhythm of community life that integrates us deeply with the land. This is a key part of how we bring volunteers into the heart of what we do. I am not just talking about these teams from the outside. I'm a living example of how they work. When I first joined Gençler Kırsal in 2023, it was the start of a journey that shaped me into who I am today. As I continued into 2024, I became the social media coordinator from the program. And by the time we organized Gençler Kırsal'a 2025, I was deeply involved in planning and coordinating community events. This role allowed me to help communities' voice reach a broader audience and share our vision of sustainability. And through these experiences, whether it was learning to use Notion or organizing outreach projects, I became a living example of how these pillars shape us. I hope this gives you a sense of how we view our personal journeys into this community and how each of us finds a way to integrate our lives with nature. And next slide, please. Thank you. As these experiences shape how I work and create, we wanted to carry that spirit into Gençler Kırsalı 2025. Inspired by what the program has given us, we designed this notebook using a loop theme that reflects the seed, soil, and action day cycle at the heart of the curriculum. Our aim was to offer participants a space to follow the camp program while also recording both their knowledge and their feelings. A simple canvas that supports their inner journey throughout the weekdays. And thank you. And this is my part. And I will hand it over to my friend and also she is a volunteer, Zehra.
Hello, everyone. It's Sarah here. And today I would like to talk about what's the next steps like for us as Gençler Kırsala and maybe like took it further. So we're not just organizing camps. We would like to create and we work to create a shared knowledge network. And we would like to connect urban ecology groups to build a continuous community. But how we do that? We created an alumni journey. So every year we start with organizing a camp from 4 days to 7 days. And we got approximately 22 participants each year. And usually 10 of them stays with us as volunteers. And these volunteers like with monthly meetings, just trying to create the next step. And in 2-3 years, experiencing like how it works in the field, they became coordinators or mentors. And after this, if we manage, like we're already managing creating this environment in Turkey, we would like to take this a little bit further with international collaborations. That's why we are here today. Around these shared goals, we would like to establish a regional youth ecology camp, like all around the Mediterranean area. But how are we going to do that? What kind of actions we can take? So we could start, maybe next slide is better. We could start maybe, we were really excited for this part, I would like to say, so we come with multiple ideas. Maybe we could start youth and instructor exchange program between Turkey, European Union, and Lebanon and we could do this by co-organizing camps like we do here in Gençler Kırsala, take together, just brainstorm, talk about it, invite some instructors or farmers to like help us in this journey. So instead of lecturing, we could trade expertise. We could just create that environment and space to allow us the knowledge exchange. And after all of this, maybe we could even give an output, like a collaborative output. Our idea was like maybe a dictionary so that we could just ignore language barriers, come together, use the same language and go even further and maybe like invite other people to collaborate with us. And to do that, not like this is a bit tricky part, we need some money. So maybe we could like also work to raise some funds to take this project-based thing to more institutional capacity. We could even give some stipends or bursaries to dedicated volunteers, maybe even create some part-time job opportunities for the young people who would like to actually gain some experience and contribute to this area. And I would like to move on from here with just a little thank you part for the people who allowed us to be here today. These are, or like, if you want to communicate with us, these are our names and mails. So just feel free to do that. And even we added a little QR code at the end. So if you, these are thank you parts, so it's a little like
Sorry,
disorganized.
sorry, I messed up.
Yeah, but at the last part, we added a little QR code. We have a English WhatsApp group. So if you like to connect, talk, take this a little bit further, we are here. Please. And thank you so much for this opportunity to Christina.
Christina, may
Thank
I
you.
just take 30 seconds to thanks to people who were coming before us. As already mentioned, Victor Aronias was the first who is spreading this seeds, and Burhan Eltan, who is also here, who is the founder, initiator, enabler of Gençler Kırsala. Güneş Naydemir, unfortunately not here, but she is the chairwoman of our foundation, and all the foundation people around, also the community around, and all people, I think more than 150 to 200 people contributed to Gençler Kırsala so far. So we are all grateful for them. And Burcu, Meltem, Arık, and Arca is also here. They introduced you to do this, and Dilara created the great notebook and also helped with this stunning visuals. So we are very, very grateful to these people, also to you, and also the people who made a lot of work for Agroecology Europe. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And also for the participant, we're going to share these presentations also, the QR code and everything. You can have it also for later. And thanks for this very, very inspiring presentation. I was inspired of how you managed to create a community with a relatively young association, and all the proposals you suggested are so inspiring. There is many, many things to talk about, but before doing this, since we are a little bit late on time, but it's absolutely not a problem because so far I really enjoyed hearing from you. And we're going to have our fourth presenter, Jihad Helmail from Fasila Farm, and also Elena will help us with translation from French to English. So Jihad, whenever you want, you can share your screen. You're muted.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Christina. I don't speak English very well, so Elena is here to translate from French to English. So I'm going to share my screen. Parfait. Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Je remercie Elena pour la traduction ainsi que Christina pour toute cette programmation et coordination.
Hi everyone. So thank you a lot for the invitation and for the coordination, Christina, and the translation.
Je suis très heureux d'être parmi vous et de partager ma propre expérience avec vous en tant que néo-paysan, en tant que producteur en agroécologie, mais aussi j'ai adoré les présentations, que ce soit en Turquie, au Lebanon et d'autres pays qui partagent les mêmes valeurs d'agroécologie et d'agriculture durable avec nous.
So thank you a lot, and I'm very delighted to be with you today as a new peasant, and it was very inspiring to hear from other people sharing their experience on agroecology, so very inspired by all what was said before.
Donc, je me présente, je m'appelle Jihad El Mali, je suis ex-informaticien, néo-paysan, et cofondateur de la ferme agroécologique Fessila. Je suis aussi membre du RIAM, qui est le réseau des initiatives agroécologiques au Maroc, qui regroupe des centaines et des centaines de personnes, des producteurs, des consommateurs, des associations, des coopératives, des experts, qui ont objectif de vulgariser les pratiques agroécologiques et qui travaillent sur plusieurs secteurs, que ce soit les fermes pilotes dans lesquelles on fait partie, que ce soit les marchés paysans où les producteurs peuvent vendre leurs produits agroécologiques, que ce soit pour le plaidoyer qui est très intéressant pour changer pas mal de lois en ce qui concerne l'agroécologie, mais surtout le système participatif de garantie, le SPG, qui est un équivalent d'un label, sauf que c'est un label, le SPG, c'est un label participatif qui inclut les consommateurs, les producteurs et les experts, à la fois pour l'élaboration des cahiers de charges, mais surtout aussi dans les visites d'enquête, de ferme, etc. Donc, c'est un label très inclusif que actuellement on le partage avec pas mal de pays, que ce soit l'Égypte, la Tunisie, l'Algérie, le Libanon, pour vulgariser ce genre de pratique et surtout ce genre de labellisation qui est très inclusif.
So Jihad El Mali is a former computer engineer, and he now founded the farm Fakila. And he's also member of the network that is RIAM. So it's a network of practitioners in Morocco working on agroecology. And so it gathers experts, farmers, citizens, consumers, other producers. So they're working on very different aspect of agri-food system transformation and agroecology. They are setting a farmers market, also working on advocacy, and also more importantly, they established a participatory guarantee system. So that's a form of inclusive label that is established by producers themselves together with the consumers to establish production practices and reference framework on how to establish quality rules together in a participatory manner. And this participatory guarantee system is actually international. It gathers people from Egypt, Tunisia, Lebanon, and Morocco. I hope I didn't forget. J'ai rien oublié. Tu me dis si j'ai oublié des choses.
Non, c'est bon, t'as rien oublié, bravo. Non, c'est bon.
Super.
Donc, tout ça, je parle spécifiquement de notre expérience en tant que ferme pilote du RIAM qui s'appelle Fessila. Fessila, c'est un ancien mot arabe qui veut dire jeune pousse. Donc, cette ferme a été créée suite à un très long voyage à vélo en compagnie de ma femme euh, dans presque tout le Maroc pendant plusieurs mois. Donc, on a fait plus ou moins 12 000 kilomètres pour aller découvrir les petits patelins, découvrir les anciennes pratiques dans les montagnes du Maroc. Et à la fin, on a décidé de plaquer car j'étais, comme j'ai dit, dans les nouvelles technologies et l'informatique. Ma femme, elle aussi, a été dans la banque, dans les assurances, etc. On a décidé de tout plaquer pour vivre en totale harmonie avec la nature en créant la ferme Facila sur un terrain familial qui a été acheté en 2010.
So Jihad with his wife, they created the farm Fasila, following a very long and nice bike trip of 2,000 kilometers. So Jihad wife also formerly worked in insurance and bank sector. So yeah, they had this very inspiring journey through rural areas across Morocco to also discover about ancient production practices, peasant practices. So yeah, to get inspired. And following this, they founded the farm Fasila on on family land. So that's where it all started.
Donc, dans cette ferme ou bien ce terrain qu'on voit actuellement sur l'écran, donc il y a plusieurs défis. Donc, à la fois, c'est un terrain très pauvre en matière organique, donc c'est moins de 1% de matière organique. C'est 69% de sable, c'est presque 70%, c'est la plage, quoi. Très peu de biodiversité, avec un vent très fort qui va parfois jusqu'à plus de 120 km à l'heure, et une amplitude thermique très ouverte qui va de moins 4 degrés jusqu'à 49 degrés, vu qu'on est installé juste avant les premières montagnes du Mont Atlas. Donc, quand c'est froid, et après, quand c'est aride, c'est très aride, avec une pente de 3% qui, bien sûr, accélère l'érosion des sols. Donc, à la fois, c'est peu de matière organique, peu de biodiversité, etc. Donc, tout ça, suite à des décennies d'agriculture conventionnelle et de surpâturage dans ce terrain. Donc, le défi est majeur, mais par contre, les solutions sont nombreuses.
So Jihad was sharing about the many challenges they're encountering on the plot. So first of all, it's a piece of land that has a lot of erosion and very little organic matter, less than 1%. It's also very sandy land, so it's more than 69% of sand, which is almost a beach. There are also challenges of very few biodiversity inside, and also a lot of wind. There is also a very high temperature amplitude from -4 to 49 degrees Celsius. Because they're on the front of Atlas Mountains. And adding those different challenges, there is also a slot of 3% that is accelerating or making erosion risk even more present. But yeah, even if those difficult situation or challenging conditions are happening, there are also a lot of solutions that can be put in place to overcome them.
Parmi les solutions qu'on a commencé à pratiquer, c'est la combinaison de plusieurs pratiques agroécologiques, agroforestières et du maraîchage sur sol vivant. Donc, on a commencé à planter des lignes d'arbres nord-sud en agroforesterie pour, bien sûr, à la fois réduire la vélocité du vent, mais aussi d'aggrader le sol qui est très pauvre, très poreux, etc., et d'aider le sol à mieux retenir l'eau face au changement climatique.
So Jihad explained that agroecological and agroforestry practices really help to overcome those difficult conditions for cultivation by using agroforestry, doing also cultivation on living soil, and planting trees to also keep or helping to refrain from slow the wind, and having also more soil, improving also the soil health to keep the water in.
Et donc, ce ensemble de pratiques, que ce soit l'agroforesterie, l'agroécologie, le maraîchage sur sol vivant et aussi la préservation et la sélection de semences anciennes, a fait appel à un immense micro- et macro-organismes du sol, un ensemble de micro- et macro-organismes du sol qui nous ont aidés à fertiliser le sol, à le minéraliser, etc., en passant par des champignons qui nous ont aidés à sécréter la glomaline, qui est une glucoprotéine qui joue le rôle d'une colle qui colle avec les agrégats et du coup réduit grandement le ruissellement. Les champignons ici aussi, ils nous ont aidés à faire pas mal d'échanges avec les arbres pour, bien sûr, ramener de l'eau en échange des nutriments. Les bactéries aussi qui nous ont aidés à faire des échanges et surtout minéraliser la matière organique et fixer l'azote atmosphérique pour fertiliser le sol. Et les vers de terre, les ingénieurs du sol qui nous ont aidés à créer pas mal de galeries à la fois pour créer des porosités dans le sol, mais aussi à mieux retenir l'eau en profondeur pour, bien sûr, augmenter la capacité du sol à mieux retenir l'eau dans les périodes les plus secs de l'année. Et les cloportes et les colombons, bien sûr, c'est des magnifiques détritivores qui dégradent la matière organique dans un laps de temps de 2 à 3 semaines, même dans des conditions arides. Mais par contre, il suffit de leur faire un couvert végétal et aussi installer des arbres pour plus d'ombre et d'humidité.
Okay, so here we enter into the soil technicity or soil health. So first of all, there were also the use of and the selection of peasant seeds, of ancient seeds that are traditional and drought resistant. So that was the first strategy to overcome the risk of drought and extreme temperature diversity. And yeah, most importantly, that was also all the work done on soil regeneration and yeah, making the soil more alive, thanks to the micro and macro organism, and also to give also better shade for the micro ecosystem by having the trees and creating some shade to help the living soil thrive. So they also used a lot the fungi and those are secreting what is called a glomatin. So that helps to
Glomaline.
bind glomalin, glomalin that helps the soil to aggregate and to keep its structure. There are also some bacteria that help to fix the nitrogen, the atmospheric nitrogen, and make the nitrogen bioavailable for the crops, and also to mineralize organic matter. Also, the role of macroorganisms such as worms, such as woodlice and springtails, they help also to create or to strengthen the soil structure. So yeah, Jihad said the worms are the engineers of the soil. So they allow to create some channels within the soil structure to retain better water or longer. And that help to produce and to transform organic matter in short period of time, like 2-3 weeks.
Après tout ce passage et après quelques années de pratique, le sol est devenu plus riche, plus noir, plus fertile. Et donc, on a augmenté grandement la capacité du sol à retenir l'eau. Donc, on voit que c'est un terreau alors que c'est le sol de départ était très sableux, un jaune clair avec très peu de diversité, alors que après quelques années de pratique, c'est un sol noir qui retient beaucoup l'eau, qui est riche en biodiversité et bien sûr, il est très fertile et très productif.
So they could really witness the change of appearance of the soil. So it became a very rich, darker, and more fertile soil that retains better humidity. So you could see from the picture before the very sandy and light or beige soil that became very much darker and retaining much more biodiversity and life into it.
Et là, vous pouvez admirer les photos entre l'ombre qui se crée entre les planches de culture. Et donc, ça nous permet même de cultiver des salades en plein été sous 42-45 degrés. Et aussi, la diversité et la biodiversité qui s'installe doucement et sûrement sur notre terrain, ainsi que l'accroissement du rendement, vu qu'actuellement, on cultive sur 3 dimensions, pas uniquement sur 2 dimensions. Et donc, là, sur cette planche, on voit aussi des plantes d'aubergines, de betteraves, mais sur le même mètre carré, il y a aussi des pommes qu'on peut aussi récolter et augmenter la productivité et la rentabilité par mètre carré.
So as you can see also from the plot scale, there is a very higher rentability or production per hectare. So they could grow some salad even in summer, and also the fact of making better use of the space that they have by using also the third dimension. So not only on the plot, but also using the trees. So they are producing now on 3 dimensions, let's say. So they can have the tree and grow also the vegetables underneath.
Et même les cultures qui sont les plus dures à cultiver en sol vivant sans labour, comme les carottes, on arrive facilement actuellement à faire des carottes qui dépassent largement 25, voire même qui dépassent 30 centimètres de longueur, et des choux-fleurs qui arrivent à 3 à 4 kilos. On a même des pics jusqu'à 7 kilos, des énormes choux-fleurs, et des courges qui dépassent les normes même de la culture conventionnelle, ainsi que même des cultures euh, qui sont pas cultivées en continent africain.
So they are managing to grow very particular vegetables that are usually not easy to grow even on the African continent or in Maghreb. So for example, the carrots, so they can reach like 30-kilometer long carrots, also kales that can reach also 7 kilograms, or pumpkins. So those normally are vegetables that are harder to grow on living soil without plowing. But here they can really manage to have good production.
Donc, le résultat, c'est des légumes qui sont très contents, ombragés, avec plus de matière organique, plus de fertilité, plus de garde-manger. Et après 5 ou 6 ans de pratique, donc l'expérience fait plus de 10 ans, mais après 5 ou 6 ans de pratique, on a réduit grandement notre apport en eau. En 2016, par exemple, on dépense 3 000 dirhams par mois uniquement en irrigation, alors qu'en 2021, ce chiffre a été divisé par 7. Ça veut dire qu'on a divisé par 7 notre rapport en eau. Et en plus de ça, on a réduit entre 50 et 80% notre besoin en eau, et on arrête complètement d'irriguer entre octobre et mars, vu qu'une simple pluie de 10 millimètres peut durer plusieurs semaines sans irrigation, alors qu'avant, il faut irriguer 2 fois par jour pour éviter que les plantes meurent. Il y a une augmentation de matière organique, une augmentation aussi de réserves utiles. Les rendements augmentent, et dans certaines cultures, ils dépassent largement les rendements d'agriculture conventionnelle. Et donc, depuis, on a augmenté aussi la diversité des fruitiers. Donc, sur 1 hectare, on cultive 12 espèces de fruitiers différentes, et plus de 30 espèces de légumes différents.
So also in terms of results, there have been very positive results. For example, the use and the cost that was dedicated for irrigation. You can see that there have been a division by 7 of the cost that was dedicated to for irrigation between 2016 and 2021. Also, they could also stop to irrigate between October and March. They have also seen a significant raise of organic matter. Also, thanks to the better retention of water into the soil. They've also seen a big increase in production, and also that was made thanks to a better, more diversity cultivated. So there have been 200 orchid trees that are being used on the plot, and more than 30 vegetable species of varieties that are cultivated underneath the trees.
Et là, on peut voir clairement la différence de uniquement 5 ans entre l'été 2015 et l'été 2020 sur notre propriété, entre un terrain vierge, une zone très désertique, et 5 ans plus tard, c'est une oasis de vie, même en été, en plein été. Et à part ça, on voit aussi que les voisins aussi, 5 ans après, ils sont convaincus. Donc, notre voisin qu'on voit juste à côté, ça fait 45 ans qu'il a arrêté de cultiver, vu que le taux de pesticides et le prix de semences sont élevés, vu que les sols sont déjà dégradés, etc. Mais par contre, il faut une preuve vivante, un exemple vivant juste à côté d'eux pour croire, pour après 45 ans d'arrêt d'agriculture, ils reviennent pour planter des arbres, au moins pour subvenir à leurs besoins en fruits et en légumes.
So the image speaks for itself in terms of change of of landscape. So you can see how much diversity is thriving. It became really an oasis, and it even convinced the neighbors who are willing to adopt similar practices. So that's a living example.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say we have 1 minute to 5, so maybe if we can close it up so that we have time to have just a couple of questions. Sorry.
No, no problem. This is the last slide. Mm, donc après le résultat, bien sûr, on parle toujours de changement climatique, etc. Mais ce qu'il faut changer, c'est les pratiques. Donc nos pratiques vont changer les degrés de gravité de changement climatique. Voilà, je vous remercie.
So yeah, it's all about changing the practices, not the climate. So that's what we are trying to do here. And so yeah, the better we will adopt our practices, the less impact we will have on climate. Thank you.
Merci énormément, Elena, pour la traduction. C'était super excellent. J'ajoute juste un petit dernier mot en ce qui concerne comment on peut collaborer. Donc, comme vous avez vu, donc cette expérience dure environ 10 ans, mais par contre, actuellement, on l'a reproduit dans d'autres fermes pilotes au Maroc, en Tunisie, en presque 3 ans. Et en plus de ça, actuellement, on prépare un nouveau projet qui va entrer dans cette collaboration. Ça veut dire on prépare une ferme école qui est ouverte à tout type de pratiques durables, qui va à la fois servir le côté scientifique pratique, mais aussi la partie vulgarisation, où les petits paysans peuvent venir subvenir des formations gratuitement et un suivi pour vulgariser les pratiques agroécologiques et travailler aussi sur le plaidoyer. Donc, on est actuellement à 95% d'avancée du projet, vu qu'on a décidé de construire toutes les infrastructures en écologique avec de la paille, de la terre, etc., chose qui a pris beaucoup de temps vu que les savoirs ont disparu. Et donc, je vous invite tous à venir nous voir dans notre nouveau site qui est juste à côté de la ferme euh, qu'on a vue actuellement pour éventuel échange, éventuel débat. Et l'idée, c'est d'essayer de créer au maximum de fermes pilotes, de fermes ouvertes. C'est des vitrines qui montrent qu'on peut produire la qualité et la quantité avec des pratiques durables, sans pesticides, sans engrais chimiques, et pas uniquement au Maroc, mais partout là où il y a la volonté et la sincérité.
So about how things can go next. So you have seen an experience of a farm that has been growing and transforming landscape in the last 10 years. And there are next step or next activities that can be planned and where cooperation can be made. So Jihad is creating now a pilot farm or a kind of farmer field school in Morocco to give training to also train peasants. So the idea is to also create connection with Tunisia in Morocco. So also transnational cooperation is encouraged. And so yeah, the idea is to being trained to also have advocacy and to so yeah that's how we can that's the only way maybe that we can also show by example lead by example that quantity and quality can be reached by changing practices and we have to widespread those practices and learn together.
Merci
Okay.
beaucoup.
Thank you. Thank you. It was very inspiring to us to see what you have done in your farm and being part for this organization and everything you managed to do in refertilizing the soil. So I'm sorry that we do not have time to discuss, but the first, let's say, aim of this webinar was just to start getting to know each other. And I think all the presentation were so inspiring. And as I was also saying at the beginning of the webinar, this is planned to be a series, so we're going to have more people coming in and eventually more possibility to discuss. My fault in bad planning with timing. I know that is my it's something that I have to improve. So, because I don't want to steal anyone's time, I would say that officially the webinar is closed. But if people would like to join, I don't know if the would like to still stay a little bit. I don't know if the presenter can stay until, I don't know, 11:10. Just if anyone has a specific question that would like to ask. But yet again, this is going to be repeated, and we're going to make sure that we also have this moment of discussion to really understand how to co-create this collaboration together, because we have heard many interesting pieces. So meeting is done officially, but if anyone would like to ask any question, please do, or comment or finalize. Okay, I see Fatima.
Hey everyone. Hey Christina. Thank you for the presentation. Unfortunately, I joined the meetings a bit late, but I'm quite interested in jihad case study. So maybe I will put my question in French, then I can maybe translate my question. Ok. Bonjour Jihad, ça va? Malheureusement, j'ai entré un petit peu tard pour votre présentation, mais j'aimerais bien savoir dans quelle région du Maroc se trouve l'exploitation et quel type de pratiques agricoles bien agroécologiques vous avez utilisé et est-ce que vous avez des coopérations avec les universités marocaines? Donc, avant tout, je vais traduire mes questions. So I put three questions. First, I would like to know where is the farm and which kind of agroecological practice that are used or agroforestry or other things. And also if they have a cooperation with the Moroccan universities. Thank you.
Avec grand plaisir, Fatima. Donc, on est actuellement dans un petit patelin qui s'appelle Khmis Sidi Yahia, qui est à quelques kilomètres de Tiflis. Donc, on est plus exactement entre Rabat et Meknès, mais à une quinzaine de kilomètres entre Tiflis et Khmissat. En ce qui concerne les pratiques qu'on a utilisées au sein de la ferme, donc c'est plusieurs pratiques et plusieurs disciplines. Donc à la fois, c'est l'agroécologie, la permaculture, l'agroforesterie, le fait de sélectionner aussi les semences paysannes et de les préserver. Mais bien sûr, on est ouvert à plusieurs pratiques qu'on a testées, soit l'aviculture écologique, l'apiculture écologique sédentaire. Actuellement, on travaille sur l'agriculture syntropique et tout ce qui est forêt comestible. Ce qui nous intéresse grandement, c'est les forêts comestibles et l'agriculture syntropique. Donc, on combine plusieurs pratiques qui sont durables et c'est l'expérimentation qui sélectionne les pratiques les plus durables et qui sont moins coûteuses. Car il y a des pratiques qui se donnent des résultats, mais par contre, ils ne sont pas accessibles aux petits agriculteurs. En ce qui concerne la collaboration avec les universités, bien sûr, on a collaboré avec presque la quasi-totalité des universités qui sont au Maroc, que ce soit des webinaires comme celui-là, soit des visites, soit euh, des conférences qu'on donne sur place, etc., que ce soit l'ENA, l'École nationale d'agriculture, que ce soit l'INRA, l'IAV, et pas mal d'associations et de collaborations avec les universités qui sont au Maroc. Pas que, mais même actuellement, on travaille aussi un projet avec l'École nationale d'agroécologie en France, où ils nous envoient des doctorants pour faire des études sur les pratiques qui réussissent avec très peu d'eau.
D'accord. Mais vous avez commencé, disons, ce projet-là, ça fait pas longtemps, non? Parce que j'étais aussi à l'ENA comme professeur, ça fait longtemps. Donc j'ai terminé là-bas. Bon, j'ai changé en Allemagne depuis 2017 et je pense que c'est la première fois vraiment que je vois un cas qui présente l'agriculture agroécologique au Maroc. Donc peut-être je suis pas, disons. Actualisé avec les derniers cas, mais de toute façon, je pense que il y a fait pas longtemps que vous êtes dans ça, non?
fait, ça fait 10 ans qu'on est sur terrain et avant ça, on faisait l'agriculture urbaine sur les toits, etc. On travaille aussi actuellement pour vulgariser les pratiques agroécologiques, même dans des grandes villes comme Casablanca, Rabat, dans des toits, etc. Pour prouver aussi que l'agroécologie, c'est pas uniquement un sujet des paysans ou bien des habitants des zones rurales, mais aussi les citadins ont leur part de responsabilité. Ils peuvent carrément sur des toits bétonner, produire des légumes et bien sûr investir dans la souveraineté alimentaire. Donc, c'est vrai que les premières années, on était tout le temps 7 sur 7, 24 sur 24 derrière les pratiques, le champ, etc. Et d'année en année, on a adhéré au RIAM, on a adhéré à Terre Humanisme, à plusieurs initiatives d'agroécologie au Maroc, chose qui a mis en lumière notre initiative, notre expérimentation et du coup, pas mal d'organismes, pas mal d'instituts, y compris l'École nationale d'agriculture au Maroc, nous a invités à animer des débats ou des conférences ou partager notre expérience avec plus de détails techniques et voilà.
D'accord, merci. Je vais
Thanks.
t'envoyer mon email au chat. Donc, et je travaille aussi beaucoup sur la question agroécologique. On vient aussi de maintenant d'avoir un projet dans le Second Call of Agroecology, mais malheureusement, c'est surtout en Europe. Mais j'aimerais bien collaborer dans le futur, dans le cadre, disons, du Maroc, bien Nord d'Afrique. Donc, ça sera très bien.
Avec immense
Thank you.
plaisir.
D'accord.
We have yeah, maybe we can take one or two question more, please. Then if you have to talk more, because I know that they were very interesting speaker, just consider eventually to get in touch with them. I see Tarek.
Thank you, Christina. I'll be very quick, and it's not really a question. I'm Tarek Suleiman. I am an agroecologist at Lush Cosmetics, and I just wanted to say that all of the keynote speeches, the presentations that you gave resonate with the work I'm doing. We have a permaculture site in Majidiyah in the south of Lebanon where we produce bitter orange blossoms for our perfumes. We have a project in Agadir for together with our supplier in for argan. And finally, in Turkey, we have the rose, of course, which is a huge issue. So I can see possible synergies. So please feel free to get in touch. I will leave my email address in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you. And also eventually consider also to include your name in the Excel document that I share where we are mapping the agroecological realities in the Mediterranean. And thanks for sharing. Any other question or comment? Otherwise, I think it's also okay to finish since we are 12 minutes after. Jihad, you wanted to say something? I see you have.
Oui, en fait, j'ai une question pour Wael, notre ami du Lebanon. En fait, je reçois le mardi prochain, le 9, un groupe qui vient de la région MENA, des Tunisiens, des Égyptiens et aussi des Libanais, pour partager l'expérience à la fois agroécologique, mais aussi pour parler du système participatif de garantie avec le RIAM. Je sais pas, est-ce que Wael, tu fais partie de gens qui vont venir ce mardi, car ça va être un immense plaisir de se rencontrer.
Soils, I will reply in English first, so the people don't feel very distant in the conversation. So Jihad is asking us as Soils if we are representing Lebanon in the PGS convention in the Morocco. As me, I'm not coming, but there's Noor Nahouli. She's representing Soils. I recommend that you talk to her because she's well knowledge with part of what you are doing in your soil, especially in the microbiology, because she took also the soil food web course, and she's doing she's like one of the case studies of the composting facilities that we initiated as soils in farmers. And she has a 7.8 hectare agroforestry system in Lebanon. So you should contact her. And I think there's a part of the ACL coalition, the Agroecology Coalition in Lebanon, that they are participating as well, part of Jibal and other issues that they are going there as well.
I know that you work in with the selected soil, plutôt selected seeds. So I will send you some seeds we have with your friends.
Yeah, this will be very, yeah, thank you for this. This will be really nice, and especially if they are rain fed, because we are lacking rain fed seeds in Lebanon.
Perfect, perfect.
You, Anna, and maybe
Thank
we
you.
close then.
I close. No, you close. Yeah, no, okay. Thank you. So,
Okay.
yes. Hi, everyone. So I'm Anna Frosny. I work at Agroecology Europe in Brussels. I'm very happy to be here and I really love the discussion. Part-time, in a way, I'm also a farmer at Podere Montisi in Italy. It's an agroecological farm. So some of the things that were shared really resonated with some of the things that we're also trying to do with my family. I only want to make a small reminder of something that I already put in the chat. There is also, like Christina said, the WhatsApp group of the Agroecology Europe Youth Network. So if you want, you can also click on the link and be part of the community and briefly introduce yourself. And on another hand, let's say the scope of the Association of Agroecology Europe is European, of course. But recently, we also started having new members from across the Mediterranean. For example, from Turkey, we now have 2 member organizations. And so this is also a call for you if you feel compelled, if you feel intrigued to consider the membership of Agroecology Europe starting from January, because we have a 1-year membership starting January every year. And it's open both to individuals, so people like us, or to organizations. So that might also be interesting for some of you. And yeah, that's it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, I think it's time to close. I'm sorry, I would keep going forever, but I guess after 17 minutes delayed, it's also right. I want maybe to also end with a kind of call for help, because I would really love to find a way to keep the conversation going more organically. I said that our idea was to keep having other webinars, but please, the speaker or whoever have any idea of how to make this map being useful and really start creating this sense of coalition or connection, just share with us, share with me, because I'm trying to think, but for sure more minds are better than just a few. And thanks again to all the speakers. Really, it's inspiring hearing what all of you are doing. Ellen already left, but thanks, Helena, also for the translation, and all the participants also to stay until now. And yes, for sure we will hear from each other soon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much for everything, for everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.